Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, September 3rd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right here will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. Ticker symbol number one, OPEN. Been tracking this one on a very routine basis and had a very, very nice start to the week. So let's get some levels here mapped out as I squeeze this down to kind of figure out where some of these next potential battlegrounds may be. And on that note, next key area of resistance looking to be right here around $5.20. If you go through the history of things, you can see this area here acted as support a little bit. Then when the price fell below it, basic rule in charting states when levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance. And then that's what happened right there, resistance to resistance. And then late day today, you can see once again 520 acting as resistance. So that's not to say that 520 can't be broken. All I'm saying is it makes sense why the price is struggling a little bit at 520, and that moving forward, that'll be the near term area of resistance that you'll want to see broken. Excuse me. As far as areas of support are concerned, the ideal level of support, when you say, Clay, what makes this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? That would be if the price can stay up there around 483. But from the overarching standpoint, the level that you want to see the price stay above is that purple line there, 50 period simple moving average. Keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself upwards and then start to curl upwards. And as long as the price stays above that purple line as the line itself moves higher and higher, then that does imply the price itself is building higher bases. And that's how those long-term uptrends are constructed. But overall, great start to the new week. Next one here, looking at HWH, and overall a good solid pattern here has formed. So let's get this pattern drawn into play. First part of the pattern is just representing that there has been this pullback. And let's get the bottom part of the pattern here in play. So you have that trend line. Let me change that to green to represent support. And then just to make sure everybody sees the pattern, let's keep it the same color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the big upwards move right here. Then for you golfers out there, make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean that for sure guaranteed if it comes up here and breaks through that level, that'll happen. But is it valid? Is it plausible as a question to throw out there as a possibility? Absolutely. Because when bullish patterns are broken, again, no guarantees, but it is a plausible set of outcomes where the price maybe finds some momentum. So if you like this price range, you like bull pennant patterns where you get a stock that's moving very quickly with good solid volume, then certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here is CARM. Very similar to what I just talked about. I'd say the biggest difference here is that it just happens to be down below a dollar and a penny stock. So I want to respect your time as much as possible. And it will be a little bit of a broken record here, but same general pattern. Let me move that down a little bit. There we go. And let's just map it out just because I cannot help myself. I got to make sure that everybody sees it. And by making the same color, I think it's easier to see. So there's resistance, there's support. Let me extend this out a little bit more. There is a nice upwards move right here. And again, golf hole down here, we are looking at another bull pennant pattern. Like I said, the biggest difference here, I would just say, happens to be a penny stock. So if you prefer to stick in the world of penny stocks, but you do like bull pennant patterns, then here you go. Next one here, NIO. This will mean a little bit if you watched the video from last week. But if you did, hopefully remember me talking about that green line right there. And I'm not patting myself on the back, but I am going to pat charts on the back. What a powerful tool. Look right where the price came down here and bounced from this morning. Again, if you don't believe me, if you think I just threw that line there, I'm not offended at all. Just go back, watch the videos from last week, and you'll see that I was talking about 605. So our chart's a perfect tool. They're not. Are they a tool that I think is worth learning? Absolutely, and here we have a good example of that. So yes, from an overarching standpoint, 605 remains that key area of support. The more ideal one would be now moving forward if the price can stay above that purple line. But even if the price does drop below there, again, as you just saw there, from more of a bigger picture standpoint, as long as the price stays above 605, then the bulls still have plenty of a chance. In terms of areas of resistance, you have the overarching one up here still at the 680 mark, which is coming from, this area here, rejecting the price. But really, before you get too far ahead of yourself in terms of areas of resistance, in terms of that level, first key level, I think, is going to be right here around $6.60. But anyway, look at it, especially when you factor in the price started off here and then ended up closing all the way up there. Rough start to the day, but definitely overall recovered nicely. Next one here, NVDA, and the bleeding continues. So the first update that needs to be done just comes based on a foundational rule, which I think I stated earlier, that when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So going into the day, 172.60-ish was that area of support, but with the price breaking down below it, you can see it actually tried to fight back up. Never hit it exactly, but got very close before rolling back over. So 172, we'll call it 60, is going to be that initial area of resistance moving forward. Now, to give some credit's due, from where the lows were here, it did start to bounce. So yes, if this bounce can continue moving into Wednesday, then it'll be interesting to see if the price can get back up above 172.60, as that is the near-term area of resistance. As far as supports, no need to overcomplicate this at all. Just asking a very basic question. Where did the bleeding finally stop today? And the bleeding finally stopped down there at basically 167.25. So again, no fancy or impressive logic, just a very basic question. So bleeding stopped right there, which puts us, if I could talk, at 167.25. So if there is any sort of rollback over, it'll be interesting to see if the price can continue to maintain above that area. Real quick, want to take a break and address a very common problem that is out there, and that is people that want to be day traders, but because of that pattern day trader rule, they just cannot have as many day trades as they want. So when I say day trader, I'm meaning having unlimited day trades every single day. So if that is somebody that you would describe yourself as, yeah, I wish I could have unlimited day trades. Well, there is a way for you to do that with very, very little amounts of money required. It's what I've been doing and what I continue to do. So if you want to learn more, you can check out that link. Or better yet, if you're very skeptical, you think this sounds a little too good to be true, then swing by the live stream. I start every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, and ask me questions, and I'd be happy to explain things, and you'll see it right before your very eyes. So yes, if you're somebody that is very annoyed by struggling with the pattern day trader rule, just understand there is a solution to this, and you could become a day trader with very, very small amounts of capital. Next one here, SMTK. Overall, depends kind of where. This is where a little tricky to talk about, because if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you're buying up around here and your plan was to buy and sell within 12 minutes, well then yeah, from that standpoint, things are not looking so good. But if you do care about the bigger picture point of view, even with the bigger pullback here, and then looking at where the price ultimately did find some support, which was right here on the pullback at the $1.30 mark, then overall the price does still have a chance to build a higher base. You could draw a trend line if you really wanted to kind of illustrate this overall idea. I'm not going to quite do that, but even if you just look at this as a low, and then this as a low, and then this as a low, and then even down here further as lows, and if you envision those as stair steps, then again, emphasis here on the big picture. From the big picture standpoint, you still do have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So $1.31, definitely the ideal level that you want to see hold moving forward, because as long as the price does stay above there, then at least from the big picture point of view, you can make the argument that the price is still building those higher bases. If the price does try to curl back upwards, key initial area of resistance in my mind is going to be right up there around that $1.80 mark. So yeah, deeper pullback here, but like I said, assuming you care about the grand scheme of things, the bulls still have plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. Next one here, UUU, and I already talked about this previously on another chart. So like I said, to respect your time, I want to try to keep the repeating to a minimum. So there is our, and let's just keep this the same color. So there is our area of resistance. There is our area of support. There is the big move up right here. There's the golf hole down here. So overall, we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So if you're somebody that likes bull pennants, you have quite a few choices headed into Wednesday. Next one here, SOUN, and wow, what a close to the day. Like I said, this is the last 30 minutes, and look at this thing. It is just going to new highs as I speak. So very, very impressive movement. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of these lines here. That level will just get out of here. And the first key update, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So yeah, moving forward, any sort of pullbacks now, $13 would be the level that you would preferably want to see the price stay up above. But as I've talked about on some of these other charts, from the bigger picture, as long as the price stays above that purple line, the 50-period moving average, as that line moves higher and higher, then overall the chart is still plenty in the bull's favor. And then in terms of areas of resistance, next key battleground here that you got to think all eyes are on is going to be that pink line right there, which on my chart denotes a very famous, the very well-known 200-period moving average, right now valued at, we'll call it $13.65. But anyway, you look at it, absolutely beast mode breakout here of the final 30 minutes. Now it's really just a question of, not only can the price get up to $13.65, but will it push up through there? So definitely grab your popcorn for Wednesday. Next one, RGTI. Very rough day in the sense of the start, gap down, and then just was bleeding. But to be fair, after that occurred, and this is where our key technical level comes into play, the price actually has made a very, very impressive move in the upwards direction, which is why I think that trend line here can be very helpful now moving forward. Because as long as the price does stay above that green line, well, then this current bounce is still underway. I mean, it could come down here and then do something like that, and then something like this, and something like that. And sure, that might be a very big roller coaster, but at the end of the day, if the price stays above that green line, then this bullish progress that has been occurring, late day today is still in motion. So I think a very straightforward way to because you got to admit, yes, this has been a very impressive move. But how do we gauge the health of that move? And that's where I would say, well, quote unquote, the health being this is as healthy as long as the price stays above the green line right there. In terms of resistance levels, next two key battlegrounds to watch. Initial level right there, the pink line, 200 period simple moving average. And then the next one, that purple line there, the 50 period moving average, the 200 period at 1569, 50 period at 1599. So yeah, definitely a nice bounce here. We'll see if the bulls can continue into Wednesday. Next one here, TSLA. And overall, yes, a red day, but at least the price was able to hold above this key area that I talked about in the video from Friday. If you watch that video, hopefully you remember me talking about that green line right there at 326.40. And you can see that's essentially right where the price gapped down. It came down to and then bounced. Came back down, didn't hit it exactly, but got close right there. And to be fair, once again, bounced from that area. So yeah, moral of the story moving forward, 326.40 remains that key area of support. But again, to give credit where credit's due, the bulls did do a good job of holding strong here. So we'll see if the price can continue to hold above 326.40 on for the foreseeable future. If there is any sort of bounces, then really the main level is all about, at this point, I think that pink line right there, that 200 period moving average, you can see right here after the price fell back below it, 2 candles in a row, went right back to trying to get above it and couldn't quite do it. So that does seem to be like it could be a stubborn area of resistance moving forward. But as of now, I think the most important thing is just making sure the bleeding stops. And that's apparently what's been going on here. A lot of sideways action today. But like I said, at least the sideways action maintained above 326.40. So we'll see if this sideways action now can turn into something in the upwards direction. So that wraps up the top 10 lists. Again, if you are struggling with the pattern day trade rule, if you want to become a day trader, have unlimited day trades for a very small amount of money, then definitely check out the link that you see here, or just swing by the live stream, ask me questions, and watch it before your very eyes. Because quite frankly, the market that I've been trading and that you have access to makes penny stocks, makes small caps kind of seem like paint drying. I understand that may sound crazy, but like I said, that's why I'm inviting you to swing by the live stream and see it for your very own eyes. So if, like I said, any questions, you can always ask me down in the description or in the comment section here, or better yet, show up to the live stream, ask me live, and I'd be happy to interact with you. So hopefully this helps, and hopefully this can provide a solution to a very common problem out there in regards to that stupid little pattern day trading rule. So thanks for watching. As always, take care, and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.